completely any travel between the countries, and so we're seeing the Mongolian government closing its border. That is a vast border that runs all the way from the West Xinjiang all the way over to the east, far north of Beijing. North Korea, which also borders China in that part of the world, it shut its border several days ago. Other governments are trying to extract some of their people who are living and working in Wuhan. In the last hour or so, the Spanish government has said it will do what it can to try and get 20 or so people, Spanish nationals who are in place there, out. The British government has a similar effort in place. The Americans as well have slightly more advanced plans to remove 200 to 300 people as well. So that's what kind of foreign governments are doing to try to prevent the spread or try to remove their people from Wuhan, which is the epicenter of this outbreak.
And what are the latest figures as far as we understand them from the authorities?
So as of today, I'll just look down at my notebook here, 80 people have died of coronavirus in mainland China, 2,744 confirmed cases, just over 5,500 suspected, and 30,400 or so are being monitored. So that's where the numbers are. The death toll continues to increase, and we have...
The U.S. government is racing to evacuate Americans from Wuhan as China sends medical reinforcements to the city where the deadly coronavirus outbreak began. Officials there say the virus is now spreading faster. So far, it's killed at least 81 people in China. More than 2,700 others have been infected across 13 countries. 5 of those cases are here in the U.S. Remy Inocencio has been covering this story from Beijing after leaving Wuhan last week. Remy, how are people there reacting?
Sure. Good morning. Well, China's health minister, Ma Xiaowei, has said that he expects infections to continue to rise. And of course, that has everyone here in the country even more nervous. Now, get this. Wuhan and at least 16 other cities with a population of more than 50 million people are still...
都承受着巨大的心理压力，惶恐不安或情绪焦躁，但是仍然有更多的人在积极面对。这是消毒酒精。 武汉市3医院，目前没有看到有特别多的病患。这里是7医院，门口有穿着防护服的医生。人们看病的人比3医院多一点，但是没有出现排队。
Diseases at Imperial College here in London. Thank you for joining us. Now, lots of talk about how this can be contained, but let's talk about a cure because you've been working on a potential vaccine. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so one of the really good news parts of the scientific endeavours in this space is that the scientists in Wuhan shared the genetic sequence of this virus really very quickly, and that's allowed people around the world to access that and start designing vaccines. And we're one of a number of groups globally that are using that information to put into a vaccine candidate as quickly as possible. We're working in the laboratory and we'll have it in animal models by the middle of next month.
That's quite a speed. I imagine vaccines don't come about this quickly usually.
No, I mean if you contrast it with the Ebola vaccine that we've heard a lot about recently, that took 10 years to develop before it even went into human studies. And then it took 2 years to test it within humans. We've kind of changed the technology and other groups as well to use genetic sequence to engineer a vaccine so it can be injected into your muscle and express just a part of the virus to induce an immune response. We could accelerate that into human studies if we're called upon to do that.